Good morning everyone. Vanakkam, Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, Adab. All the medical aspirants who have appeared for NEET 2020 and have not got into their dream colleges, don't worry, we have a golden opportunity for you guys. Come and join our repeater batch, which is going to be started from 5th of November 2020. And this batch is going to be up till your NEET 2021. We at Avatar are experienced faculties from all over India, and we are going to provide you the best coaching, the best material, what you need to make your dream come true in the top medical institutes of India. So come and join our hands and make your dream come true. All the best. Good afternoon everyone. Warm welcome to Avatar NEET classes. So today we have again come up with another important topic, mechanism of muscle contraction. So hope you will enjoy this topic and later able to solve the MCQs from this topic, for which we will have a Menti quiz. If number of students we have more, we'll try to take a Menti quiz for that. So today is also our demo session, the last day for our demo session. So offer is early bird registration is still available till 15th November 2020. All the previous videos for the demo will be available on the Vidya Lakshmi school classes and all. So kindly go through the videos and try to get the early bird registration. It is going to benefit for you guys. Okay, so today we have come with a very important topic, mechanism of muscle contraction. Let us talk about mechanism of muscle contraction. Before we go into the mechanism of muscle contraction, muscle, how is the muscle getting the signal and how is this signal making the muscle to contract? Yes, so contraction is a ability of a muscle. Yes, so we have to find out in this topic how our muscle is able to get the signal and there is able to show the contraction and relaxation. So the basic thing you have to understand is there is a signal which is coming from the neuron. So we'll start our topic, mechanism of muscle contraction. Okay, so in today's topic of mechanism of muscle contraction, first we will try to understand the neuron. Neuron is very important because there is a motor neuron. There is a motor neuron which is going to get the signal. Yes. So what I have told you, motor neuron. Now motor neuron will bring the signal and give it to the muscle. And give it to the muscle. And this becomes our, where the motor neuron is giving the signal to the muscle, this becomes the motor unit. Motor unit. So what is motor unit? This question can be there in the NEET examination. Motor unit consists of a motor neuron and your muscle cell. Where are they meeting? Where are they meeting? They are meeting at neuromuscular junction. They are meeting at neuromuscular junction. What is the other name of neuromuscular junction? The other name for the neuromuscular junction is motor end plate. Or, so neuromuscular junction, other name is motor end plate. Now the question is this signal electrical? Is it signal chemical? What kind of signal is this? So here we have to understand. See, when the signal is going inside the neuron, okay, so we have the dendrites which is going to receive the signal. Here the dendrites are going to carry the signal from the dendrite. It will come into the cell body. From there it goes to the axon and now it goes in the saltatory conduction, jumping and come to the axon terminal. In the axon terminal, we have synaptic vesicles. Yes, the synaptic vesicles are going to release the neurotransmitter. There will be synaptic vesicles which is going to release the neurotransmitter. So we will talk about here. So as the signal is brought, so this is the axon terminal. In the axon terminal, they are filled with synaptic vesicles, and synaptic vesicles are filled with neurotransmitter, and one such neurotransmitter is acetylcholine. There could be a dopamine also. Glycine is a amino acid which can also act as a neurotransmitter. Okay, so this was regarding the general concept. But what is the kind of signal? The question was, what is the kind of signal which is coming? So here we will look into our understanding. The kind of signal which is going to come in the neuron. In the neuron, when the signal is going, it is electric signal. Okay, it's an electrical signal which is going. When it comes to the end of the axon terminal, there the signal will be transmitted by neurotransmitter, which is a chemical signal. So the overall nerve impulse becomes the electrochemical. Okay, there is electric signal inside the neuron and there is chemical signal between the neuron and the muscle, or it could be another neuron also. Yes, so when there is a junction between a neuron and a muscle, what we call that unit as motor end plate or neuromuscular junction. Okay, and what is the signal in between them? It is chemical signal. But what is the signal of the nerve signal coming? The nerve signal is electrochemical. Inside the neuron, it is electrical. From one neuron to the other, it becomes chemical. From one neuron to the muscle, it becomes chemical with the help of neurotransmitters. So this is something basic you should try to understand upon this. Okay. So now if we look into the muscle, what is muscle? Okay, how they are attached to our body. We have a lot of muscles in our body and the muscle will be attached to the bone. Name the component which help in attachment of the muscle to the bone. This could be an important question. Tendon. Tendon are the connection between tendon will be the connection between our bone and the muscle. Now if we look into the muscle, yes, if we take a transverse section of the muscle, okay, now if we cut it, then we'll find out in the muscle there are lot of muscle sac like structures which are called fasciles. What are these called? Fasciles. Inside each fascile there is muscle fiber which is nothing but muscle cell, and these fasciles are covered by fascia. These fasciles are covered by fascia. So first is fascia, inside this there are fasciles, and inside each fascile there is muscle cell or muscle fiber. If I talk about muscle cell, this is the muscle cell. The muscle cell plasma membrane is called sarcolemma. What is the plasma membrane of muscle cell called? This is called sarcolemma. The cytoplasm of the muscle cell, there will be cytoplasm in the muscle cell. Muscle cell or muscle fiber is same thing. The cytoplasm is called sarcoplasm. The muscle plasma membrane is covered by, what is the plasma membrane called? Sarcolemma. The cytoplasm is called sarcoplasm. The endoplasmic reticulum in this muscle cell is called sarcoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum is called sarcoplasmic reticulum. Sarcoplasmic reticulum. And here is the important question. Sarcoplasmic reticulum stores calcium. This is going to store calcium. Calcium is being stored in the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So what we have talked about? Muscle. Muscle is attached to the bone with the help of a connection called tendon. Okay. If you take a cross section of the muscle, you will get many fasci. Okay. Each fascia is held by a fascia. Inside each fascia there is many muscle cell. Muscle cell is also called muscle fiber. Inside, if you talk about muscle cell or muscle fiber, the cytoplasm is called sarcoplasm. The plasma membrane is called sarcolemma. The endoplasmic reticulum is a storehouse of calcium and it is called sarcoplasmic reticulum. It contains lot of nucleus. There are many nucleus in this. So this condition is called syncytium condition. So muscle cell contain lot of nucleus, syncytium condition is there, and in the sarcoplasm there are myofibrils. There are myofibrils or myofilaments which are in alternatively light, dark, light, dark. Like I am wearing a stripes, there is light, dark band, light, dark. So similarly, there is the stripes in the myofibril. What this is the myofibril. If you can look into there, I've shown that there is only projection of one myofibril. If you look into this, it shows like this connection. So dark, light, dark, light. So this is called striped appearance, and this is a characteristic of skeletal muscle. This is the characteristic of skeletal muscle. So when we are learning about skeletal muscle, mechanism of skeletal muscle contraction, so we have talked about skeletal muscle have striated appearance. Yes sir. This striated appearance is due to two protein. This is due to two protein, actin and myosin. The dark bands are due to myosin. The light bands are due to actin. Okay. So we'll talk about this. Thick myofilaments and thin myofilaments. Okay. So the dark which I am making is thick myofilament, and the light one is the thin myofilament. Okay, space is not there. I'll continue in the next part. So what I have told you over here till now, if we look into this thing before, so there is going to be a special kind of neuron which is going to take the message and give it to your muscle. That kind of neuron is called motor neuron. Motor neuron. The motor neuron will bring the signal to your muscle, and this will become motor unit. Okay, the motor neuron will meet the muscle. Okay, and the junction point is called neuromuscular junction. When it is neuron and neuron, we say synapse. When it is neuron and muscle, this junction is called neuromuscular junction. Okay, the signal which is brought inside the neuron, the signal is going inside the neuron as electrical signal, and between neuron and muscle it is chemical signal through the help of a neurotransmitter which is acetylcholine, or it could be dopamine, or it could be glycine. Different neurotransmitters are there. Yes. What do you mean by motor end plate? The other name of neuromuscular junction is motor end plate. Yes. Now if we look into the muscle cell, okay, the muscle is attached to the bone. What is the connection? Tendon. It is a connection. Yes. If you look into the muscle, cut the transverse section, there are many fasci. Each facile is connected with the help of collagenous tissue, which is fascia. Okay, fascia. Now, if we look into each facile, there are many muscle fiber or muscle cell. Muscle fiber or muscle cell. If we look into each muscle fiber or muscle cell, then the plasma membrane is called sarcolemma. The cytoplasm is called sarcoplasm. The endoplasmic reticulum is called sarcoplasmic reticulum. There will be sarcoplasmic reticulum. The sarcoplasmic reticulum is storing which ion? Yes, it is storing calcium ion. It is storing calcium ion, and we will understand the role of calcium in muscle contraction. Yes, and in the sarcoplasm there are many myofibrils. There are many numerous mitochondria. The nucleus are also many. It is called a syncytium condition. And if we look into each myofibril, there are alternative light and dark band. Okay, light and dark band striated appearance, which is characteristic to the skeletal muscle. So now we look into each of the how is the arrangement of light and dark bands. Okay, so we'll talk about here. So how is the connection between, as I told you, there is, for understanding the muscle contraction, the smallest and the functional unit of muscle contraction is sarcomere. What is the smallest and functional unit of muscle contraction? It is sarcomere. What is sarcomere? The distance between the two Z line. The distance between the two Z line is sarcomere. And Z line is going to divide the band. Which band? The Z line is going to divide the thin myofilament band. So these are thin myofilaments. Okay. In between the thin myofilaments, there lies thick myofilament. There lies thick myofilament. So as we talk, this is a thick myofilament, and the thick myofilament is made up of myosin. The thin myofilament, this is the thin myofilament. The thin myofilament is made up of the protein called actin. So these are the proteins which are going to be playing a role in the muscle contraction. Okay, actin is there, myosin is there. Yes, actin makes the thin myofilament, myosin makes the thick myofilament. Okay, now this band, if we talk about this gap, change the color. This is called H zone, and the center of this, there is a M line, I band, I band, and this center position from here till here, this entire band will be A band. Okay. Now, when the muscle contraction is going to happen, look into this. There is I band, I band. Between two Z line is the sarcomere. Between the two Z line is the sarcomere. When the contraction will happen, so according to the sliding filament theory by Huxley, the thin myofilament, please note the point, the thin myofilament will slide over the thick myofilament. So which is going to move? The thin is going to move and slide over the thick myofilament. Okay, but who will make them move? There will be a cross bridge made by the myosin filament. Myosin head will make a cross bridge and pull the two thin myofilament towards each other. Let us see this part in detail through a look into students. So we were talking about muscle contraction. The center position is called what zone? The center position is called H zone. There is the center of H zone. There is a line called M line. Yes, this is the I band and this is the between, this is A band. Between two I band, this entire band is A band. Okay. So if we look into one sarcomere, half I band is here, half I band here, half I band is over here. So in one sarcomere, what is there, students? In one sarcomere is between two Z line, So between two Z line, we have half I band, full A band, followed by half I band. Who is going to divide the I band? It is the Z line. If we talk about the center of H zone, there is another line called M line. During muscle contraction, so when the contraction will happen, this Z line will move, the two Z line will move towards each other. So what will happen when the two Z line will move towards each other? What is going to happen when the two Z line is going to meet each other? What is going to happen? The length of the sarcomere will shorten. The length of the sarcomere, this is the sarcomere, now the sarcomere is reduced. Write it down. So during muscle contraction, what is going to be there? Distance between the two Z line, decreases. Okay, distance is going to decrease. Between two Z lines, the distance is going to decrease. H zone decrease. H zone decrease. I band will get short. I band also reduce. I band reduces. But the length of A band, remains same. So what remains same? A band is going to remain same. This is there during muscle contraction. So if we talk about the muscle contraction, so what we are taught in the muscle contraction? In the muscle contraction, when we are talking, the distance between the two Z line is the sarcomere, which is the smallest and the functional unit of muscle contraction. Which is the smallest and functional unit of muscle contraction? It is sarcomere. Sarcomere. Sarcomere is the smallest and functional unit of muscle contraction. Which is the smallest and functional unit of nervous system? It is neuron. Yes, which is the smallest and functional unit of muscular system, muscle? We have sarcomere. Okay. Which is the smallest and functional unit of excretory system? In the kidney we have nephron. So don't make these mistakes and all. Okay. So when we talk about the sarcomere, the distance between the two Z line is one sarcomere. In one sarcomere, how many I band are there? Half I band, full A band, half I band. When the muscle contraction is going to happen, who is going to slide over whom? The thin myofilament will slide over thick myofilament. Who will slide? Very important. Thin myofilament will slide over thick myofilament. So this is a sliding filament theory. But still we have not understand. Okay, we have just understand that there is a muscle cell who have a plasma membrane. The plasma membrane is called sarcolemma. The cytoplasm is called sarcoplasm. The endoplasmic reticulum is called sarcoplasmic reticulum. It has lot of nucleus, it has syncytium condition, it has lot of mitochondria. The sarcoplasmic reticulum is storing calcium, which help in muscle contraction. But when this calcium will be released? When this calcium will be released, and where it will go and bind and make the muscle contraction? So first we should understand what are the events which are happening till here. Okay, and then when the signal is going to come, how the smallest and functional unit of muscle, which is the sarcomere, is going to show contraction. That we have seen, how it is going to this thing. But how the signal is going to be received and the calcium will be released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which will initiate muscle contraction. Let us come to the next part. Okay. So as the muscle is stimulated, okay, the motor neuron is bringing the signal and the signal. Now when the motor neuron is bringing the signal, what is the thing? This is the axon terminal. These are synaptic vesicles. They are filled with neurotransmitter. Now this is the postsynaptic membrane. What is this membrane? Postsynaptic membrane. This is the presynaptic membrane, axon terminal, and between this we have told this is your neuromuscular junction where this chemical, what is the chemical? Neurotransmitter will be coming. The neurotransmitter receptors are present on the postsynaptic membrane. Okay, the neurotransmitter receptors are present on the post. When they are going to come and bind, what will happen? It will cause depolarization. It will cause depolarization of the muscle cell membrane, the sarcolemma, and through T-tubule, the signal will go into the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and the sarcoplasmic reticulum will release calcium in the sarcoplasm, and already myofilaments are there in the sarcoplasm, and myofilaments alternate light band, dark band, light made up of actin, dark made up of myosin. So these calcium will go and bind to a troponin, subunit of troponin, which is a troponin is part on the actin. So due to time restriction, we won't be able to study the structure of actin and myosin. So once the troponin will bind to the troponin C, it will unmask the site on the actin where myosin will have to bind. So myosin will form a cross bridge and pull the two actin filament, pull the two thin myofilament towards each other, which we have discussed in the previous slide, that when the cross bridge is formed, then what is going to happen? The the distance between the two Z line decreases. The I band reduces, A band remains the same, Z zone also, the H zone also decreases. So this was the mechanism. Let us see again. So when the muscle is stimulated, so what is the gap between the muscle and the neuron? The neuron is called motor neuron. What is the gap between the neuron and the muscle called? Neuromuscular junction or motor end plate. Okay, and the neuron and the muscle, the motor neuron and the muscle forms the motor unit. Okay, so when the signal comes, when the signal is stimulated by motor neuron, the T vesicles, the T tubules are going to release the calcium ions from the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and this calcium will go into the sarcoplasm, the cytoplasm. In the sarcoplasm, what is there? Myofilament, myofibrils are there, actin, this thing. So the actin, so now the calcium will bind to the part of troponin have three subunits, CIT. It will bind to troponin have three subunits. It will bind to troponin C. Troponin calcium will go and bind to troponin C and unmask the site where the myosin has to come and bind to actin. And when myosin will get energy from the ATP hydrolysis, it will go and form a cross bridge and pull the two actin thin myofilament towards each other. So what is going to happen? There will be a sliding of thin myofilaments towards each other, and they will slide over the thick myofilament. So very important question can be there, who is sliding over whom? So in the muscle contraction, the thin myofilaments slide over the thick myofilaments. So the actin and the myosin, they form the cross bridge, can now form the myosin head attached to the active site of the actin, and due to the ATP hydrolysis and all, the bridge will be broken, the head will be broken, and once the cross bridge is able to move, okay, then the actin, the thin myofilament, is pulled towards each other, the length of the sarcomere decreases, the 2Z line, between the distance between the 2Z line decreases, H zone decreases, I band decreases, A band remain same. Okay, and when there is going to be again bringing back of the calcium ion. Calcium ion will go back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum. The muscle contraction will be stopped. So stimulation stopped, the calcium ions are removed, and the muscle returns to its normal length. So this was about the concept of the muscle contraction, which was just we have given you this thing. We have to understand in more detail when we have to understand the actin structure. What is actin made up of? What is myosin made up of? Okay, what do you mean by tropomyosin? What do you mean by troponin? Okay, so all those things will be due to time restriction, we won't be able to do this thing. Let us have a quiz. Okay, so Menti quiz. So download the Mentimeter and all, and we'll have practice the questions which are previous year questions, NEET questions which has come from this topic. Okay. Your Mentimeter code is 2095298. Okay, I am just going to ask the questions which I have done with you guys from this part only. So kindly join. I want to analyze your this thing, whether you have understand the topic or not. Okay, this is because in a 40 minutes, 50 minutes this thing, we can't cover much of it. We can have more extensive. This is only a demo part. This is only a demo. Again I am telling, this is only a demo. It is not this thing. We can go further deep into this thing. We can have another 2 classes on this topic and all. So due to time restriction, we are just going for the quiz. Okay, we have only 5-10 minutes left. Kindly join fast. Join fast. Your code is 2095298. Those who are new on the Menti quiz, they have to go to the Play Store, download Mentimeter. Go to the Play Store. In the Play Store, you have to download Mentimeter. Once you download the Mentimeter, you will be asked about the code. You give this code 2095298. 2095298. Okay, we'll wait for 1 minute. Let's see if anyone further is going to join. Okay, shall we start the quiz? Yes, so we're going to start the quiz, students. Pay attention. First question on your screen. Try to answer, read the question properly. The H zone in the skeletal muscle fiber is due to, where is the H zone? The central gap between the actin filaments, extension of myofilament in the central portion of A band, the absence of myofibril in the central portion of A band, or the central gap between the myosin filaments and the A band. The H zone, where is the H zone? Where is the H zone? Okay. Students, H zone, the central gap between the two. Actin filament is what? We have thin myofilament, okay, actin. Between that, the gap is filled by what? H zone. Yes. So the central gap between the actin filaments. Let's see who have answered it correctly. Okay. Good. Next question. Question number 2. statement is correct for muscle contraction? Which among the four statements? Length of H zone remain constant, length of A band remain constant, length of I band increases, length of 2 Z line increases. These are all previous year questions and all, nothing from any part, only the NEET question. Good. Length of A band remains same. A band remains same. H zone decreases. I band decreases. Yes. The distance between the two Z line decreases, but the A band remain same. Okay. Next part. Which of the following is the contractile protein of a muscle? Contractile protein of a muscle. Tropomyosin, tubulin, myosin, all of this. Which of the following is the contractile protein of a muscle? Contractile protein. Which is a contractile protein? Tropomyosin is a contractile protein. Tubulin is a contractile protein. Myosin is there, or all of these? There are two contractile protein, actin and myosin. The answer should be myosin. Yes? Okay. Next question. Okay. Next question on your screen. Here you go. Sliding filament theory can be explained as, can be best explained how? Actin and myosin filament do not shorten but rather slide past each other. Actin and myosin filament shorten and slide past each other. Last is other. Myofilament slide past each other and actin filament shorten. Myofilament slide past each other, myosin filament shorten. So what is going to shorten during the sliding filament theory? Okay, who is going to slide over whom? Answer is the actin is going to slide over myosin. The actin is going to slide over myosin. So what is there? Actin and myosin filament do not shorten. The actin and myosin filament, they are not going to shorten. Yes, but there is going to be sliding. Due to sliding, the distance between the two Z line decreases. The H zone decreases. The I band decreases. A band remain same. Okay. So we have last this thing. The top scorers have done it wrong. No problem. I can understand it could be difficult in the starting also to answer big questions like that. Name the ion responsible for unmasking of active site for myosin for cross bridging activity during muscle contraction. Which ion was responsible? I want all correct on this. No mistake in this. We have just talked about that. Name the ion responsible for unmasking of active sites for myosin. Okay, this ion will go and bind to that and will unmask the site for the myosin to go and form a cross bridge. What is the answer? Yes. Still people are giving magnesium, sodium. No, calcium. Next part. Okay. Next question. Calcium is important in skeletal muscle contraction because what is the role of calcium? Again, the same. Binds to troponin to remove the masking active sites on actin, activates the myosin ATPase by binding to it, detaches the myosin head from the actin filament, prevent the formation of bond between myosin cross bridge. What is the role of actin? What is the role of actin? What is the actin playing a role? Okay, so what is the role of calcium? Sorry, the calcium. What is the role of the calcium? So calcium is going to go and bind to the actin, the subunit of actin, the troponin. Yes, the troponin C, and going to unmask the site where the myosin can come and bind with the help form a cross bridge. Let's see who have answered it. Okay, good. Okay, good. Keshamurthy have answered it first. Next question. During muscle contraction in humans, what is going to happen? The sarcomere does not shorten, A band remains same, A, H and I band shorten, actin filament shorten. All these are NEET question, all they are targeting only one important concept of muscle contraction. Which is going to shorten, which is going to remain same, it's all the same thing. All are from the various NEET questions. Okay, again. Actin filament, thin myofilament do not shorten. They will slide over thick myofilaments. Who is going to shorten? Who is going to shorten? The length between the two sarcomere will shorten. The H zone, the gap between the two will shorten. The I band will shorten, but A band remains same. A band remains same. Let's see. Okay. Good. Next question. What is sarcomere? What do you mean by sarcomere? Part between two H line, part between two A line, part between two I band, part between two Z line. What do you mean by sarcomere? It is the smallest and functional unit of muscle contraction. So what is sarcomere? Okay, where it is located? Yes, very good. 3 people have answered correctly. It is the part between the two Z lines. Okay, so I think Keshamurthy, Lokesh and Lingunathan have understand the concept. Next part, question number 9 on your screen. Stimulation of a muscle fiber by a motor neuron occurs at, where is the stimulation going to happen? It is going to happen at neuromuscular junction, transverse or T tubules, myofibril or sarcoplasmic reticulum. Where is the stimulation of muscle fiber by a motor neuron occurs? Where is the stimulation? Very good. First question, all of us have answered correctly. Neuromuscular junction. Okay. Easy one. NEET question again it was. Next question, last question. Which of the following is not a function of skeletal system? What is not the function of skeletal system? It's the production of body heat, locomotion, production of erythrocyte, storage of minerals. Only one person have answered it correctly. Which of the following? So what you have done is there, you have not read the important point. Not a function of skeletal system. Most of you would have done this mistake, okay, because you have read it question very fast. This is the mistake which happens in the NEET examination. Students, Storage of mineral. Yes, minerals are stored. Calcium is stored. Production of erythrocytes. Bone marrow. Where is RBC? Erythrocytes going to be formed. Locomotion. Movement, locomotion. We are reading the chapter. Production of body heat. Body heat production is not due to muscle contraction. Okay, skeletal system. Okay, so this was the part. Let's see who have answered it correctly. Okay, only Sanjay have answered it correctly. So today winner is Keshamurthy. Very good, Keshamurthy. Okay, very good, very good, very good, very good. Okay, so this was a small concept and then the Menti quiz. From tomorrow onwards, we are going to have the regular batch going to start. So those students who have registered, we will send you the entire details about that one. Those who have not registered, kindly register before 15 so that you can avail the early bird registration, and also try to finish your sleep. We will be able to start and try to cover your concepts as soon as possible. So don't miss the opportunity. Thank you everyone for joining. Bye bye. Thank you.